Hello everybody, this is Brian Greer, your 4-H Youth Extension Educator. Today I'm going to show you how to register animals on 4-H Online, and I'm also going to show you how to register projects on Fair Entry. That includes both animal projects and building projects. Since it is a two-step process, you sign up for 4-H on 4-H Online and then you register your animals on there. But then the Fair Entry system is also where you actually tell us what you will physically be bringing to the fair. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll go to the 4-H Online page, sign-in page. Go ahead and sign in with your family profile. You're going to see this view, so click Continue to Family, and you'll see your member list. And we see everybody in the family there. So we've got a couple of active youth members. So we've got Tommy, Tracy, Trenton, and Trina. So let's say we need to add an animal for Tommy. So you see Tommy, we're going to click Edit. Pulls up his information. Up at the top, we'll see the different tabs there. We're going to click Animals/Livestock. And we're going to see where it says Add an Animal. There's a drop-down menu. Let's say we want to add a barrow for Tommy. So we're going to select barrow, add animal. There's some information here. Where it says tattoo, that's going to be the ear notch. So let's say that he is 3-5. RFID number is only required if you're going to go to state for these barrows. So let's say that this animal is going to go to state. So we'll need an RFID number. We'll just put one in there. That's just kind of a dummy number. Tag number, 5-digit county tag. Normally we do those when you weigh in at the county fair, but we're not doing those this year, so we'll just put 5 zeros. You want to check the breed. Let's say that this is a Duroc. It's a barrow, so you don't need to worry about the birth date. And since this one is going to go to state fair, we need to select DNA collected. And if it's county raised, you can check that too. We'll need to put your premise ID number in there. That's a must. And where it says I or a family member intend to exhibit this animal at state fair you can click that. And it says I or a family member, so that means that as long as the animal is registered to one of the kids in your family, you can share it between them, and so any of your kids could show it. So we'll click that. Then we're also going to click I certify that I have read, understand, and agree to these provisions. And for this year only, for state fair bound animals, you do have to upload these required pictures too of the ear notches. So just follow those directions. Let's go ahead and click Save. And we see that his barrow is there now, and in addition to his sheep and his horse. So let's say that that's it for Tommy, but let's say his sister we need to add an animal for his sister. So we're gonna go back to my member list, and let's say that Tracy needs to add an animal. And again, we go back to the Animals Livestock tab, and let's say you're going to add an animal, but before you do that, let's say that you notice that, oh, here are your dairy cattle females from last year. Well, those carry over from year to year, as do horses, so you can actually just reactivate them. So let's say you've got this dairy cattle female, Tibby, and then you want to show her again. So select her, just hit activate animal, and it'll ask you to prompt or review that information there. And if that's okay, then just click that again there. And if you want to change that animal, if you want to associate it with one of your kids other than Tracy, you can assign it to a different kid. But let's say Tracy's going to show that one, so you just hit Save, and then you see Tibby is on your list. But then you also need to, let's say you need to add a meat goat. So we'll click meat goat, add animal. And you'll need your Scrapie flock ID. I'm just going to put a dummy number in there. And let's say that this meat goat is county only. You can just put county only. Tattoo or 5-digit county tag number. So meat goats do need county tags, even if they're only shown at county. So let's say that it's 30005, and all of our county tags begin with 30 since we're Hancock County. And you can actually pick the county tags up at our office before the fair. Let's say you want to name the animal. Let's call him Biff. Boar goat, male. Let's put his birthday in there. You can put the weights if you know them. County raised if applicable. And since this one is not going to state, we're not going to collect DNA. And so we'll just put our premise ID, which is, again, that's a requirement. And you'll leave this blank since it's not going to state. You'll click that. And if it were going to state, you'd have to upload these additional images. But again, that's just special for this year. But this animal is not going to go to state. So save. And you see he's right there. Now let's say that you need to remove an animal. Let's say that this meat goat, you decided, well, we're not going to show it after all. So you just click view/edit, go back into the animal, and you just go to the bottom and delete. So that is the basics of registering animals on 4-H Online. As always, you can email me or call our office if you need help for that. Let's go ahead and sign out of 4-H Online, and we'll roll over to Fair Entry. When you go to fairentry.com, you're just going to click Find Your Fair, and you'll search for Hancock. And this is where you would click Indiana, Hancock, and you'd sign in with your 4-H Online credentials. Now, since I'm doing this as a training demo, I have to use the training county. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to use the Indiana training county. So we'll go ahead and log in using our 4-H Online credentials. And once you get logged in, you'll see this screen. And again, up top, yours will say Hancock County. I'm just using the training county as a demonstration. So you're going to click Begin Work on a New Invoice. And don't worry about that language invoice, that there's no fee. It's just, that's what they call it in the system. So click on Begin a New Invoice. And here you're going to see your 3, or however many kids you have. So you'll see your 3 kids. And again, we've got Tommy, Tracy, and Trenton Boilermaker. And so however many kids you have, they'll show up in here. Because this all transfers from 4-H Online. So let's say that we're going to register Trenton. So we're going to create an entry, and let's say that Trenton's going to do beef cattle. So we're going to select beef cattle, and he's got a steer, so we're going to choose that. Now we need to choose which breed. So we can see back in 4-H Online, Trenton's got an Angus steer. So we're going to choose Angus steer. So we see we've got the department, beef cattle, steers, Angus steers. Okay, now we're going to choose his club. Sometimes kids are in more than one club, but just choose whichever one their primary one is here. This thing here that we just saw, you can skip over that, but where it says animals here, add an animal, and then your animals that are in 4-H Online will pull over here. So you'll see that he's got 2, but let's just choose this one with the tag number 55555, select animal, and then you can verify everything there, make sure its tags are all right, the breed's okay, hit continue, declared weight. You can put whatever you want in there, 1300, whatever, and we'll put whatever the actual weight was. And here are virtual options. So what this is if you're not going to show in person, you can upload pictures instead and view and exhibit virtually. So we do have that option this year. But again, if you're not going to show virtually, then you can just skip over this. Okay, so now you've completed that first entry. Now it says, do you want to add another entry or register another exhibitor? So let's say that Trenton's got another entry he wants to do. So it's add another entry. Now this time he's going to be doing a building project. So we're going to change the department, and let's say he's going to do it's a state project. So let's say he's doing genealogy. So we select genealogy, choose that, and we can see that Trenton's 17. So let's say that he's either in Division 4 or Advanced. So an Advanced would be where he did like an independent study. So let's say that he's doing Advanced. We'll select that, continue. Again, choose the club, and just describe the project briefly. Just maybe family tree. And again, if you're going to exhibit virtually, you could upload a copy of the notebook, and it kind of gives you the instructions here. So upload a copy of notebook with personal identifying information blacked out. So just follow these instructions and upload the pictures. Again, that's if you are going to show virtually. So if you're not going to show virtually, we can just skip that. Okay, for training purposes, it's requiring that we upload stuff, but when you go to register on the Hancock County Fair, it won't be required. But let me just go ahead and put these in here as a demonstration in case you do plan to show virtually. So we're gonna upload a file, and as you can see, it's the file formats can be PDF, doc, docx, so any of that. So we're going to upload. We're just going to pick a random file here to upload. Okay, and so we have to upload several different things here. So we'll hit continue now that that's done. And now we're back to what do you want to do next? Add another entry for Trenton or register another exhibitor. So we're going to do register another exhibitor. Now at this point, a lot of times people click continue, and then it takes them through the end of the process, and they end up doing that before they've registered their other kids, and then they try to go back in, and then they're locked out because what they've submitted hasn't been approved yet. And so to avoid that, just when you get to this point, click register another exhibitor. So at this point, after you've clicked exhibitors, that takes you back to your list of kids, and then you would click create entry and just repeat the same process that we just saw. And once you're all done with that, I'm going to take a little shortcut here, but once you're all done with that, it will take you here, and it will prompt you so you'll just need to look over all your entries for all of your kids, make sure everything's okay, and you'll click review/complete outstanding records. Sometimes it'll ask for a description, so just put whatever it is, basal. Okay, and then review complete, and now it will say continue to payment. Everything looks good. So once you've put all your kids' entries in there, then go ahead and click continue to payment. Even though there is no payment, it's just 0, and then it'll show that you've registered each kid, Tommy, Tracy, Trenton. Hit continue and confirm. And then at the very end, you'll just click submit, and that's it. Now after you've clicked submit, somebody from our office will go in and approve all those entries. And then after we've approved them, you can actually go back in and add more if you need to. But once you've submitted them, if you submit them, for example, and then try to go back in 5 or 10 minutes later, you probably won't be able to do it because we probably haven't approved it yet. But if that happens, if you're in a situation like that, just email me or let somebody at the office know that we need to approve your other entries. That way you can go back in and add more. So submit, and then that's it.